Good practice. All right, let's do this one more time. We're just gonna go into a again, I'm expecting this to bounce out of here. So let's go lower. Let's go, okay. So again, we're creating an OCO bracket here. We're gonna buy 100 shares of Apple. We're gonna go limit. We could just do a limit. We can just say I'm willing to pay 177.6. I'm advanced. I'm going to enter in my stop loss. Let's go 177.06 or just 177. We'll just put a number in. Profit taker 178. We'll just leave that 178.60. Okay. So here we are. Let's see, limit 177.60, and it just popped. Look at that. See, we would have been in it. Let's see if we can get in and catch it at 177. We'll just get into, again, I wouldn't normally chase this, but I want to get in this position just so we have a good example. 177.75. Let's just see if we can get in there. Limit, stop, 177 down here, and then profit taker 178.80. Okay, so submit. Okay, so there's the bracket order. We're in it. We've got the bracket order set up. It's got to pull back to 177.75 in order for us to get filled right now. Is that going to happen? I don't know. That's popping pretty quick. Again, I would not normally do this, but let's chase it. Because I want to get filled. Let's get filled at 90. See if we can get that. Just has to pull back a little bit. Come on. There you go. Should have gotten filled. Okay, I'm in. Okay, so we got filled. Okay, now let me pull this over here. Okay, so we're in Apple right now. Okay, and everybody can see I have 100 shares, right? Again, we're racing against the clock here, trying to get this done by 4. But we created this OCO bracket. We got into Apple at 177.90. We currently have 100 shares, and we have a stop loss at 177 even, and we have a profit target to sell at 178.60. So let's say we want to take a partial out of this. Okay, so let's say we want to take 25 shares, right? We're going to take a quarter off. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this OCO bracket. Oh, that's true, Joe. Yep. But I also don't want to take up the whole time with this. But let's say we don't want to touch this OCO bracket. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an order sell. Okay, and I'm going to sell 25 shares. Okay, and it's going to be a limit of, let's say, I want to try to get, we are at 177.90. Can we get, let's say I want to get filled at 177.95. Okay, so just for, again, this is just for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to sell 25 shares of Apple. Where is it now? I don't want to get filled immediately. Let's go 180, 178. Okay, so I want to get filled 25 shares at 178. I'm going to submit it. Okay, so you can see now the bracket order is still in place here. Okay, so I still have 100 shares for profit target, 100 shares for my stop, but I have this order outside of this now for 25 shares, right? So let's see if we can get filled. Okay. So again, this order, and what I was saying to Ray last night in Slack, what I was trying to explain was this order is sitting outside of this bracket. It's separate from that bracket order, completely separate order. But what's going to happen is if this fills, okay, if this fills, then that's going to fill, and there we go. Okay, so I just sold 25 shares. So what I have to do now, okay, if you look over here at my position, right? So now I have 75 shares, okay? I no longer have 100 shares because I just sold 25 shares outside of my bracket order. But if you look at my bracket order, it still says 100, 100, okay? But I no longer have 100 shares. So what I was trying to explain to Ray was now I have to manually go in and adjust this order to reflect my actual position size. Does that make sense to everybody? So I just took a partial, right? I just took a partial. I just locked in a little bit of profit. But now, and again, that order was sitting outside of this bracket order. So now I need to go in here and modify this manually and change this to 75 and change my stop, or I mean my profit target to 75, okay? Now, what would happen? Let me just update, okay? So now my bracket order, I manually adjusted it because what would happen if I didn't manually adjust that? Well, let's say if I hit my profit target, what it's going to do at that point is it's going to sell. It would have sold 100 shares, but I was only long 75. So what that would in essence do is I would suddenly end up with 25 shares short if I didn't go in and manually adjust this. Okay. Likewise, let's say it hit my stop loss right down here. If it came down and hit my stop loss and it sold 100 shares, but I was only long 75. If I was long 75 and it sold 100, right down here again, the numbers don't match up, right? So I'm going to end up short shares down here because I sold. If I'm selling 100, but I'm only long 25. So you don't want to end up. Yeah. So Martina, what the question that Ray was asking me last night, it all had to do with 8-cap. Now, again, I'm not sure if 8-cap works exactly the same way, but I just wanted to show her kind of what I was trying to explain in terms of, I mean, most brokers, you should be able to do it this way. Okay. Now, does 8-cap work a different way? I'm not 100% sure. But most brokers, you can do it like, so Interactive Brokers, obviously that's what this is, Thinkorswim. So yes, most brokers, because the OCO bracket remains intact. Those two orders right here are connected to each other. Okay. So nothing happens to either one until something happens with one of them. So that's why when I set that order up outside of this bracket, then I had to manually go in and change this. Okay. So let's say if I want to sell another 25 shares. Oops, let me bring back Interactive Brokers. So let's say I want to sell another 25 shares, and let's say we want to do it at, again, we'll do it at 177. We'll do it at an even 178. Okay. So again, if I go, I'm going to sell, this time I want to sell another 25 shares, and I want to do it at 178. Just see where price is right now. Actually, let's say I want to do it 177.95, just to have a number in there. Okay. So I'm selling another 25, 177.95 day, submit it. Now that order, again, you can see the bracket order is still intact. That order is sitting outside of the bracket, right? So again, if that fills, right now I have 75 shares. So if that fills, I have to manually go in and adjust my position to 50 shares. So this is just, this is at least a very simple way of doing it. There might be more complex ways where you got to, create some algorithms or something, or go in. I'm sure there might be more complex ways to create this, but this is just a very simple, straightforward process in terms of oh yeah. So in 8-cap, right, you're talking, it's actually not shares, it's lot size, but you can still, yeah, you think it's a little trickier in 8-cap. It might be, but but the concept should basically be the same, right? Where I think it can be a little complicated with 8-cap, because I think 8-cap, you can actually go short and long at the same time. All right, so let me just show you. So that order just filled, right? So now, again, my position is 50, but my actual position I'm holding on to is 50, but my bracket order says 75. Okay, so again, I would have to go in here and change that to 50. And then I would update that, update, boom. Okay. All right. So does that make sense to everyone in terms of, and again, I don't know if this is exactly how you do it in 8-cap, but I just wanted to at least explain what I was talking about last night. So let me go ahead. I'm going to sell 50 shares. That's my position. I'm going to do it at market just to get out of this. Exchange closed. Okay. So I guess maybe the aftermarket doesn't work on, because I do have aftermarket hours trading, but maybe I can go in here. Let's do this. 50, let's do, see if it will allow me to fill outside. I don't know. Paper account, it might not allow me to fill outside regular trading hours. Yeah, see, it's not allowing me to click that. That's okay. It's just my, can you just click on the position line where it pops up? If I want to get out at market, I got to be able to do it because it's 401. Usually, like on my regular account, I can click on these fields here. I can say, I don't know what IOC is. That's new to it. See, on mine, on my regular account, if I just go in here and click fill outside regular trading hours, it allows me to select it, but it's not allowing me to do it. So, okay. Well, everyone I think gets the idea, right? I can just leave this. It's just, again, just a paper trading account. So everyone gets the concept in terms of what I meant in terms of creating that bracket order and then taking partials outside of it. Everyone good with that? All right, cool. All right, let's stop the recording.